represent. I couldn't come back and get the same jokes again. I'm not that type of guy.
Yeah, man. I was telling them, man, everybody got that A1 audio this time, man. That's what's up.
Hey, we getting better at this.
Yeah, man, it went surprisingly well. Even though I went through three different phones before I trying to get one to live stream and work with this mic. V20 just keep holding up. Anyway, man, I'm gonna go ahead. We live right now. Welcome to the Team 100 Tech Talk episode number 12. A little short-handed right now, but we're gonna have some more members pop in a little bit later. But right now on deck we got Mr. BG. Introduce yourself, brother.
What's going on, everybody? This is your guy, BG Tech Life, over at YouTube, BG Tech Life. Check me out on Instagram also, BG Tech Life. How everybody doing tonight?
That's what's up. Next up we got Mr. Forbes. Give a shout out, brother.
What's up? This is Joseph from ForbesTech Reviews. Follow me at ForbesTech Reviews at YouTube, Forbes Reviews at Twitter, and hey, what's up, everyone?
That's what's up, and I am Eric Kelly, aka the Tech Gentleman. And tonight we're gonna kind of freestyle it a little bit. There's a little small event that happened. I'm sure you guys probably have heard of it by now, so we'll probably be discussing that a little bit, of course. But also, man, we're gonna try to discuss some other little things. First, I want to go to the comments. Alan always says I never go to the comments enough, so going to the comments straight off. I got my note in hand, so I'm ready to address the comments. We got Mr. Tech for your knees in the comments. He says, "What's good, fellas? What's going on with your tech?"
What's going
It
on,
should,
baby?
yeah, man, it should be a pretty interesting one. Cause like I said, it was a small event. I'm sweating on these lights, man. But
Yeah, me, man, same here, man. I'm, I feel you on that one.
yeah, it's rough. But yeah, man. So I guess we'll start off with a little kind of not piddly stuff, but just some interesting stuff I saw in tech news this week. There was an AMA with Andy Rubin, and of course, the conversation circulated around the essential phone. If you don't know what an AMA is an Ask Me Anything. So it's where this person or this company sends somebody up, and they just kind of take questions from people. Maybe it's at a certain venue or on a forum. I think this one was on Reddit, and one of the questions was about the headphone jack, and it came out that they're actually going to at some point sell an attachment that'll give you a headphone jack and supposedly like some sort of high end DAC as well. So I want to get you guys' thoughts on them kind of going backwards and putting back in the headphone jack.
Yeah.
Well,
Go ahead, BG.
now you go ahead because you actually supported that movement, so I'm gonna let you go first.
Yeah, you got one.
I actually have it's here. It's right here. There's the essential phone. I don't know. It like Eric said, it's kind of going back ways. I don't know why would you make a mod with a hi-fi DAC in it. Why not just put the headphone jack and headphone thing in there already with the DAC? I don't know. It's kind of back ways. But I mean, until we get it, we don't really know how it will sound. But I mean, I don't know how does it look on the phone. I mean, you have these metal clips. Is it going to stick above it? I mean, it's just going to be big in your pocket. I just don't know how it's going to look. So I don't know. it's kind of. I don't know. I think it's backways. I don't know what they're doing over there, but they could have a great phone. They really could. I mean, look, the build is nice. I mean, it looks great, but I don't know what they're doing over there in the Central. Maybe this is their first try to get it right, and then come back with another phone, a better phone next year. But I don't know. I did see a battery mod. No, not battery. A charging mod that looks pretty cool. They have it on their website now, and that you just lay it down and it charges the phone. So that's coming up too. But the price for the camera itself right now is $179 too. So for the 360 mod, which is kind of expensive. I don't know why he keeps on trying to price these things so high for it, but you know, overall it's okay. I mean, it does have a lot of problems. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna try to get it to do it in live, but the notification bar gets locked up on me all the time, and I have to reboot the phone like at least 3 or 4 times a day.
Oh, that's
And
crazy.
that's after the update too. So I'm gonna try to do it on live stream where you can't get the notifications to disappear. They just stay there over and over.
Yeah. So what about you, BG? What you think about that, man? I'm kind of backtracking on the headphone jack.
Well, I think a lot of companies. Well, I think that company went to follow Apple when they thought a lot of other companies would probably follow Apple, which they didn't do. And
Yeah.
not having a headphone jack went from possibly being the next wave of taking cellular devices to the next level. Like it's dead, it's done. But the consumers want it, and outside of Apple, everybody's still rocking with it, and they making it even better. So not having one, you just look foolish now.
Yeah, that's true. It's funny you mentioned that because people were talking about the iPhone X, and really there's a kind of considerable list of things you don't get with the new, most expensive high-end iPhone. And when you think about it, it's really the only new iPhone. The others are, technically this is supposed to be an S year for Apple.
Please, please, just save that till Alan gets here and Jose gets here. Just save it, please.
Yeah, man. I'll try to, man, but it's kind of like I said. I've been fighting off these Apple trolls ever since the event, man. Everybody who's for Apple, they've been coming, and it's just not looking good for them, man. It's kind of it's kind of bad. But yeah. So what else happened in the news, man? We got some important dates coming up. October 4th, Pixel 2,
Yeah, that's gonna be
and
dope.
yeah, and numerous other devices, right? So last year we got the Pixel and the Pixel XL, but Google just hit us with a whole lot of stuff. They hit us off with the Chromecast Ultra. They hit us off with the Google Home, the Google Wi-Fi. They just had like a nice little ecosystem launch last year, and we kind of expect them to hit us with that same amount of hardware this year. So I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Have you guys heard about it or anything in particular that you guys are excited for?
Let me. I'm gonna direct it back to the comments, the chat, real quick because we got Sean in the building. Got Easy Computer Solutions in the building. Shout
Yeah.
out to Eric. We got Albert in the building. Shout out to KB in the building. Cafe in the building. So shout out to everybody that's in the chat, man.
Yeah, what's good, everybody, man? We appreciate y'all for stopping through. Like I said, right now, kind of short-handed. We got some guys that are, we all adults. We got responsibilities, but they're gonna be dropping in here a little bit later.
Chat, man.
Yeah, what's good, everybody? Somebody come unplugged or something?
No, that was me.
Oh, okay. All right, you were just firing up the chat.
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, man. I want to say how proud I am of everybody right now. Hopefully, Alan will come through and mess it up. Everybody got this A1 audio, man, going on right now. That's what's up.
Yeah. Well, I like this since we just kind of like freestyling right now. Oh, shout out to DJ in the chat. But like I said, I would like to piggyback on something.
Yeah,
What
what's up?
what Google? I think what Google is trying to create when they come out with all these other products like that, Chromecast and things of that nature. Even though it seems like because if you're not really a techie, you wouldn't know about these things, and it seemed like other companies came out with them first. But what Google is trying to do is get you to buy into a system, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
just like Apple. Like you gotta realize, like some it's people that on Apple that want to come to Android or Samsung, but they bought into Apple so much to where as though they at the point where they feel like they can't. I got so much stuff on iCloud. I got so much stuff on my Apple TV. You see what I'm saying? I got so much stuff on iTunes on my MacBook. So it's like, and but that's what Google's trying to create with the drive and the music and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. I was talking to I got the Note 8, and as of right now, it just came out today, but I done had it since Monday. So everybody who knows I have it, of course, they got a lot of questions, and especially after the Apple event, I had a couple Apple people that's really, they're looking over the fence right now because that iPhone X ain't really gonna be that available to everybody, and then it's so much kind of feature fragmentation. The iPhone X has stuff that the seven, that the not the 7S,
The
that the
eight,
eight, that the 8 Plus doesn't have, and the
I
eight
mean
Plus has
seven
stuff
or
that the
eight.
eight, yeah, the
Even
whatever it is, it don't matter. They're gonna go in the same cases and everything, man. It's ridiculous. But basically, all three of the phones they launched, they all do different stuff, right? There's no parity across all of them. Like if you get that small iPhone, you're kind of getting screwed because you don't get the new camera tech with the dual cameras. If you get the 8 Plus, I just found this out. The 8 Plus doesn't have stabilization on both the lenses. The X is the only one that has stabilization on both the lenses. So it's at this point, if you don't have the X, you're not really getting everything that Apple talking about. So how
so
y'all feel? Yeah. So
I mean, I'm just gonna touch on that. It seems like to me Apple is scared of innovation because what they try to do is make just like they've been doing with all that other phones, the sixes and the sevens. They making pretty much the same phone with different colors, trying to be safe. Because there's a lot of people out there just because the iPhone is to come out with different colors, they'll buy it because they want the newest of the new. And then, but at the same time, they wanted to innovate. That's why they made so many phones. So you got, okay, we're gonna make our safe phones, then we're gonna make our one phone where we try to innovate a little bit and try
exactly.
something different.
Yep.
So it's like I mean, they jumped out there, but it seems like they don't really have confidence for real, honestly, in what they're trying to do. Because I got my safe phone. What you should have did was made two phones, just eights. And if you wanted to step your game up, go ahead and step your game up. Go ahead and
Yeah.
get your feet wet. But they
Yep.
made the eights, which are just like any other, the six, the seven, very safe, just small upgrades, and then they took a shot with the 10. So it's like if the 10 failed, at least we got the eights. If nobody buy the eights, they jump on the 10. So it's like they trying to be safe and innovative at the same time, which I feel like is like kind of like, okay, so y'all not really feeling what y'all trying to do. At least
Yeah.
when it seems like to me, as far as that company go, Steve Jobs had like a vision for exactly what he wanted the iPhone to be. And it wasn't multiple iPhones. It was, he would
Yeah.
envision what he wanted this phone to be. And it's like, that's completely gone. That's why when I go like this, it's not because I hate iPhone. It's just that the direction that the company is going in,
Yeah.
I could see them eventually failing. You know what I'm saying? After his wave is over, after because Steve Jobs is still like his. Look at the eight. His hands are still on that phone because it's basically the same phone. But
Yeah.
eventually, as they stray away, it doesn't seem like they're getting any more better or any more innovative, and they're not confident in the little innovation that they do.
Yeah. That's.
Yeah,
I
but
totally
don't you
agree
think the
with you, man.
Apple fanboys will still buy the 8 or 8 Plus no matter what?
I think that yeah, I think they will. Is like I said, it's people that'll buy if the iPhone 8 right come out and then the iPhone 8s come out no different, just different colors. It's people that'll buy the iPhone 8s just because they want to have the newest iPhone and have that different color. But eventually, I mean, come on now, all these services, right? Everything like maybe a couple years ago, the content we was everybody was watching was 1080. The best you was getting was HD. You see what I'm saying? The best you was
Yeah.
getting was HD. But now you even look at YouTube. I mean, you up to 4K on YouTube.
Yeah.
So how many times can you buy the same? How?
Hold on, VG. I'm gonna time you out right quick, man, because I'm gonna organize this. You know, these each of the features. We gonna hit them feature by feature,
All right, I'm gonna
because
stand by then.
yeah. So we're gonna definitely get to the screen because there's a lot of thoughts on that. But I want to go ahead and hit up the chat right now. Try to make Alan proud right quick. So we got yeah. So we got the chat is lit. We got Reggie. Want to shout him out. I don't think we got him earlier. But man, basically from what I'm reading, people like either the iPhone X. I got Easy saying the iPhone X all the way. You know, Easy he gonna get them. Uh, what else we got here? We got Tech for Your Needs says iPhone makes refinements to the tech, not innovation. You know, that's true. Easy said this is an upgrade for Apple fans. Definitely. You know, they getting stuff they've never gotten before, which is kind of sad. Costa
But
says all iPhone is doing is playing catch up and pushing 4-year-old designs on us. Mm, it's hard to debate that, man. See, Cafe said you got three Dodge cars, base RT model and SRT model. That's Apple. The car analogies, people have been using that a lot, man, because that's kind of, that's kind of how they're presenting stuff, almost. See, Costa said, "Don't worry, it looks the same because it has a glass back." And that's what I've been hearing, man. I've been hearing Apple folks talking about, "Oh no, it has this new technology where you don't have to plug it in to charge it. It's amazing." And I'm just looking at them. I'm like, "Bro, y'all really that brainwashed, man? Like that's old tech right there."
I had people at work say, oh, the Apple 10 or X or whatever you want to call it is going to come out with face recognition. You can unlock your phone by looking at it. So I
Yeah,
bust out
yeah.
my Note 8. I looked at my phone and unlocked it like, oh, you pressed the button. I'm like, yeah, I woke it up and I looked at it. No, that phone don't have that. I'm like, yes, it does. It really does. I said, that's old. That's not like the newest technology, y'all. Y'all. I mean, I'm sorry, iPhones, but that's not the newest technology out there. But they was amazed that iPhone was getting it, and they never knew that Samsung had it in the past. And I'm like, oh yes. And then it was like, oh, you have. It's a two-step process. You have to wake it up. I'm like, did you see the process for the iPhone? It's actually a three-step process. You have to press the button, look at it, and then swipe up. And they're like, no, it's just look at it. I'm like, but
Yeah, man.
Easy said something about in the comments about VR and AR. So yeah, VR, yeah, pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah.
AR
We
is
can
pretty cool too.
yeah, we can discuss that because that's kind of Apple's gimmick. Well, one of their gimmicks this year. But Easy kind of made another point. Um, he was saying that the main question all the Apple fans are going to ask is this the best iPhone yet? And the answer is going to be yes. So if you're in that camp, it's kind of you kind of don't have no choice, regardless of how limited it is. Want to give a shout out to Reese Odom, stopping through. Appreciate you, brother. He says another thing I hate about Apple is they have not changed the camera in a while. That's true, man. Especially on that small one, they're still rocking a single sensor. It looks just like the six. Um, see what else? Yeah, we're gonna hit the VR and the AR from Easy. Let's see.
Easy, I
Yeah, so
just sent you a
basically,
invitation. I just sent the invitation out to Easy if you want to join us.
oh yeah, definitely, man. Easy, always more than welcome, brother. We always appreciate your input, man. Being a vet in the tech game like you are, and also a fellow YouTuber. But so like I said before, I was gonna break everything up, and I'm gonna go ahead and hit the display first because I know BG had already started going in on some of his opinions on the display. So the way that they break down is you got the iPhone 8, the small one, which has a 4.7-inch display. Again, it has it's like a weird resolution. It's like 1300 something by 752, which is the equivalent of 720p in 2017, and it's $700, and it's LCD, IPS. So, what are y'all's thoughts on that on the screen? I'm gonna start with BG.
Well, like I said, the screen. I mean, 1080, you can only ride that wave for so long. I mean, look how long screens have been 1080. Um, when I first started YouTube some years ago, it was be off of HTC phones. I had a phone. I don't know if y'all guys remember, but it was the HTC. It was a Droid phone called the DNA. If
Oh
you
yeah.
remember that phone, it was years ago. It was the first phone with a 1440p display. So the I believe the PPI, which is pixels per inch on the screen, was 441 pixels per inch. The best screen out when it came out. And this was years ago. You got these iPhones with these 1080 displays. They only make it 401 pixels per inch. And I mean, it's a noticeable difference now. If you're an Apple guy, if you're an Apple guy, and I mean, it's a noticeable difference now. If you look at an iPhone and a Samsung phone, and it's not old, just saturation and over saturated colors and all this. I mean, it's just pure clarity, just just a better viewing experience. Samsung got iPhone beat by a mile, and there's other phones out there just like this V30. It's gonna have that iPhone beat like crazy with an OLED display. You see what I'm saying? And even for that iPhone X, I mean, or that what the 10 or the X, the I can't remember offhand, but whatever the PPI is not that high, and it's like an awkward almost resolution on that display.
Yeah.
So it's still, I mean, even it's the best iPhone. It costs over $1,000 and it's still not top dog. I mean, come
Yeah.
on now, let's be real. Even but and this, I mean, I'm just gonna wrap it up real quick because we can go all night, and I know people gonna be taking shots at me. But if the Netflix, Hulu, all that stuff is coming in, they got stuff coming out in 4K. I'm paying 11.99 a month now for Netflix because they got better resolution coming. And I mean, 1080 is not where it's at. It's not. It's higher than 1080, and for eight, I'm gonna say this, for $800, 1080 is not where it's at. A 5.5 inch screen at 1080 and one pixel density is not where it's at for the price. I'm sorry.
Yeah. How you feel about that, Forbes, man? You got
Yeah, I mean, he made some good points. We always talk about I don't even, oh I'm filming with it. The OnePlus 5 having the 1080p screen. Hey, welcome Alan to the stream. It's gonna
Hey,
get
what's
fun
up,
now
guys?
because we got the Apple fanboy on the stream now. So
oh
What's up,
yeah.
everybody?
It's about to go
BG,
down, man.
in,
Tech
Hey,
Temp.
before
introduce yourself, man.
My name is Alan Anthony. Phone Tech at Work is the brand. I'm just popping in a little late. I just got out of work. I just got out of the shower. I'm usually wearing a hat, man. Like I might have to find one. I don't like to show this five head. But
Yeah.
hey, what's going on, everyone? And what's upstream, by the way?
Yeah, man. We going pretty good right now. So what we been covering? Tried to cover a little bit of news, but everything always went back to the iPhone. So we just went ahead and got started. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of break up the iPhones and discuss the features. So right now we're talking about the screens. BG is definitely not pleased with the resolution. He says it's not up to par, and I definitely agree with him.
Hey,
Yeah, I agree with him too.
Yeah,
hey, man. I think everybody on this panel is a pro Android. I know BG got an
yeah,
iPhone, but he's kind of he's always saying that he doesn't really use it. So I don't know, man. I might have to get some reinforcements for this stream. What's up?
first of all, no, no, please, please, Alan, please, no, don't. I see. This is the thing about. Like, I'm just gonna put out this thing about folks that back Apple. Just because I said the display is not good enough, I'm pro Android. Why Android don't have anything to do with a 1080 p display in 2017 for $800. Android don't have nothing to do with that. It don't. I'm sorry.
yeah, man.
Well,
I
I
think
think
that's gonna be a kind of a choice that Apple fans gonna have to make at this point, right?
Well,
choose
you know what?
better
I
specs
just
or
I just I
stay
just
with the
got off the
iPhone?
phone. Okay, right. I just got off the phone and I just actually reordered the iPhone 8 Plus. I just reordered it because
Again, dude?
I can't take. All right, man. I just bought an iPhone 5C from eBay today for $70 because I was gonna hold out because I just sold my 7 Plus, and I bought a 5C for $70. And it came with everything in the box. But then I was like, oh man, I don't think I could do it. So
Man,
I
how
just
many
I just got off the
pre-orders does
phone
that
with.
make for you, man?
Oh no, that's about that's about 10 this month.
Yeah, man. You
I
gonna
mean
set a
literally
record.
like um because I pre-ordered the Note about 4 times, and now it's the second time with the iPhone 8 Plus.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I just got off the phone with them, and basically I was all the 256 models are actually back ordered until the 29th. So um I mean actually man, I just have the plan of actually using the 8 Plus, and then I'll just get the X. Um and then I'll do like a fair exchange or something like that. Or if I need like another time, I'll just use the iPhone 5C.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Okay,
man. I
so
think
back
that's.
good. You got
Yeah, I
it.
was gonna hit up the comments right quick, man. We're trying to make you proud, man. We're trying to stay in the chat, try to keep everybody involved, man.
Cool.
So right now, people are talking about the iPhone and mentioning 4K. Tech for Your Needs said Netflix 4K HDR. You know, that's definitely a real thing. There's a lot more 4K and HDR content out there, and you're not gonna be enjoying that on either of the eights. You know, it's not something you can do. JQ, he actually was like, yeah, Alan's here because JQ is in the chats. He's an iPhone guy, but he's saying 4K and anything above 1080p is good for a television set, which is definitely true. Costa says iPhone X is basically an iPhone 8 Plus with the screen covering the whole front of the phone, recycled design. And you get some people saying that it's not really new, it's just different. What else? Cafe says that bar with the camera and sensors will get smaller as years pass until it's gone. That's innovation to Apple, which we probably want to see. I mean, they do tend to iterate and not really make radical changes. And Sean says I use the iPhone as a trap phone. Cafe says best trap phone ever. And see, JQ asked me what camera am I using. I'm using the LG. I know I said I was gonna get rid of the LGs, but it's the only one that'll work with my Yeti, and it's the V20. That's the pretty much the only phone I stream with right now because it works with the Yeti. And
How do you hook up that Yeti onto a phone? It's like an aux cord, or what is it? How do you do that?
no, actually, it's the the little OTG plug that comes with the Samsungs. That's what
Okay.
I use. So I just plug it into the Type C port, and the Yeti has a mini USB cord.
Oh, that's
And I
hot.
just yeah, and I just plug that. The mini goes into the mic, and the full size USB goes into that OTG. And the V20, like you plug it in, it's like, yep, I know what to do with it. With the Samsungs and even the G6, it's like, what? What do you want me to do? You want me to charge it? Is it a charger? Is it a computer? Like, they don't know what to do with it. But the V20 recognizes it. It's like, hey, this is an audio source. I need to start piping it in. It just works, man. So that's why I use it.
Yeah, hopefully like the V30 has a better camera than the G6 on the front. I don't know how many times I've said this, but they definitely need to work on that front facing camera. I mean right as far as the picture right now, man, I'm looking at you on my on my iPad and my SA Plus, and you looking sharp. Looks good.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've
I
been
mean,
trying to get this.
especially in 720p.
Yeah, man, because I think that's the max that YouTube lets you stream at, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the only.
720p.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
because I think if it was a higher frame rate, it'll probably be so choppy because it's trying to push through all that signal, I guess.
yeah, man. So just to kind of give a run back before we move off of the displays, want to give a rundown and kind of I want to highlight the differences, right? Because that's kind of the big issue with the iPhones right now. They want to make you believe that everything is so unified and you got an iPhone and you get everything, and you really don't, right? So the iPhone X display resolution on it is 2436 by 1125, which is ridiculous. Like, what the hell kind of resolution is that? And it's the only one that has an HDR display. So even if you get the A plus, you don't get HDR. If you get the 8, you definitely don't get HDR.
Yeah,
The
but you
iPhone,
get. I mean, and you are getting. I think on the A plus, you are actually getting that wide screen and that 16:9 ratio. And I think a lot of people who actually will hold that iPhone X in person, a lot of people, I don't think they're gonna like it. You know what I'm saying? Even though,
really?
yeah, okay, right. I think because okay, right, it's not because of the price, but it's gonna be the fact that it's small. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people,
Yeah.
it's about, it should be like around the same size as the G6. I know people who had the dummies, had it next to each other, and it was just a little bit taller. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
I
true.
don't know how is that gonna go because a lot of people don't like small phones after so many years of having big bezeled phones.
Yeah, man. And that's actually we can talk about that later. But it's the reason why Apple is in the number 3 spot. I don't know if y'all know, Apple's now number 3 in the world behind Huawei in phone sales. So they're
Hey, yeah,
losing they're losing ground, and
hold on, stop
especially
right
in
there. I
China.
wanna, I wanna, so I wanna shout out Mr. Rob Pouncey. He said, how come he hasn't got a shout out? I expected him to actually be on here, but I just remembered he said he was gonna go to Chicago, so he's not making this stream. But shout out to Mr. Rob Pouncey and shout out everybody in the stream. We got 14, 15 people running strong,
That's
and
what's up. Hey, look, we need to pause for the cause right now. Rob
pause
just
for
hit
the
me up.
cause.
Rob just hit me off with a super chat, man. Appreciate
Super
that, big
chat is
dog,
wide
man.
open.
Yeah, the super chat is open.
Super chat is wide
Take,
open, guys.
yeah,
Rob balled out
Bro,
real
easiest
quick.
catchphrase, man. Trying to get me closer to the iPhone X money, man. I appreciate that, Rob.
Yeah, man, got another 998 to go.
Oh yeah, man.
Uh,
He said got a tip to get a shout out.
Hey, that's a good way, man. You want to shout out that bad,
hey, man,
let me know.
had you actually stream? Is anybody getting the iPhone X?
No, man, we kind of just got into it. Like I said, we are trying to discuss some other topics, but everything kept going back to the iPhone, so we just
Oh,
decided to go
we
ahead
we
iPhone
and
jumped
week
get it
from
though.
started,
Google
man.
Home to iPhone in one conversation.
Yeah,
Google
exactly.
Home.
So, yeah, man,
Yeah,
How do you get from
that's how
Google
strong the
Home to iPhone?
iPhone. Yeah, that's how
Yo,
strong
it's iPhone week,
the
man. This is
hate.
iPhone week, man. All the no stuff is done.
Man,
The good
iPhone
stuff
had
is
that
done.
chance, man. They had that chance, and it's like
What
everybody's
chance?
very underwhelmed.
Well, I
Yeah,
mean, if you
man.
look
I
at
mean,
a lot of the phones this year, a lot of people are disappointed with everything.
I
You
can't
know what
say
I'm saying?
that.
Because we can't
yeah,
what? Okay,
Not as far
okay, right,
as not as
as
much
far
as
okay, right,
with
as
the
far as the Note 8, you're gonna okay, right, okay, right, you're gonna say the Note 8 because a lot of people expected the Note 8 to have a 4K display, correct?
come
And
on now.
to and to
Come
have
on, we gotta be
and to have
realistic. Now
hold on
now
a
you're
second.
being
Oh wait,
unrealistic.
wait.
You're being
All right,
unrealistic.
and to have the first screen that had the touch um to have the first one that had the fingerprint say under the glass. So it's not just like a lot of people weren't like, oh man, and they still put the fingerprint scanner in the back, BG. Come on,
well,
BG. After
well,
after
it,
everybody hated it on the SA Plus,
Well,
BG.
at least they
Come
put a
on,
so,
finger. At least they put a fingerprint scanner on there, and
uh,
the best display of the year on there.
listen, who was the
shots.
hold on, man.
shots
Who was one of
fired.
hold on, hold on 1 second, BG. Who was one
I'm gonna get my popcorn ready.
who was the one of the first ones who made the touch ID, you know what I'm saying, the whole thing fluid, man. Okay, because I don't know if you guys want to go back because the S5 was the most super trash fingerprint scanner that you could ever put. Okay, right? And it was implemented better on the touch ID and then it got better on the S6.
Look, man,
We're
we
talking
definitely
about
don't want to go
Am I
throwbacks
back.
on
wrong?
Thursday.
Yeah,
Go
we don't
back to
want to go
Thursday.
back. We
You
talking
know,
about
We're talking about throwbacks on. I'm talking
bro,
about
hold on.
2017.
Hold on, man. I
Yeah,
could go back with
exactly,
you,
man.
man, because
We're not
I
trying
had
to
the
go back,
S2.
man. That's the thing. We're trying to stay until we talking about 2017.
Okay,
Yeah, we
okay.
have.
We ain't
Yeah,
trying to go back,
exactly.
man.
That's the only way he's gonna. That's the only way he's
Right.
gonna win this by
And the
going
point
back
is,
to.
and the pointers of that, I'm saying, is to say that Apple will actually try to find a way to actually make it the bar. You know what I'm saying? To use it better than the Samsung one. And we're already judging, and we haven't even tested it out yet. Because I know on the Note 8, right now on the iris scanner is not it's not super quick. You know, saying I gotta take like a second glance sometimes because it doesn't work. So
Yeah.
hopefully it will be better, and I have a possibility chance that it won't be fooled by no picture. Shots fired,
Uh,
Hey,
PG.
what
I'm gonna
about the
pause for
three
the.
GS? What about the
Uh,
iPhone 3GS? Tell us about that too,
hold
since
on,
you got a.
we gonna pause for the calls
Okay,
again.
I'll take you
Easy.
back. I'll take you back to that ugly back on the S5, BG. What's up with
Hey,
that
we gonna
bubble?
pause for the calls again, man. Easy to hit us off with
Check it out.
two
With
super
two,
chats,
with
man.
two super chats.
Super chat is
Hey,
open. He
hey,
letting
yo,
y'all know right now. Super chat is open, man.
take that, take
Go
that.
ahead, take advantage of that. But
Hey,
yeah, man. So
hey, man,
we're
you
gonna
want to
try
bring
to keep it
easy in this
structured,
too? Go ahead.
man.
All right,
Alan coming in here messing everything up,
sorry, man.
man.
Yeah, man, he want to go back to.
I know
What
he all
about the
Look, man,
fired up.
S5?
Easy's throwing money at you, man. Easy is throwing money at you like a stripper, tech gent. You better,
I'm telling you, man.
hey, yo, man,
Hey,
you better
I
He's
might
making
need
it
to
start.
give me a
rain.
part-time
Easy
job,
making it
man.
rain. Yeah.
Hey, hey,
Open
look,
up them pockets, tech gent. Open up
hey,
them
I done had
pockets.
worse stuff thrown at me, man. Big shout out to Easy, man. We're trying to be like you one day. But we're gonna keep it structured, man. So like I said,
All right.
we're gonna I'm gonna highlight the differences because I don't think that I think the way that Apple kind of presents things, they glaze over the differences. But as we hit each aspect of the phone, so we talked about the display. We know that if you want the best display Apple's ever made, you got to get the X. If you want the same stuff they've been making, you can get the other two. That's essentially what it boils down to. So we're going to move on to another kind of point of contention, the cameras. All right, so just to refresh everybody, you got 12 megapixel cameras all around. The little baby iPhone 8 has just a single 12 megapixel camera, and it
Baby.
doesn't do the fancy lighting stuff. They don't get that feature if you get the little baby camera. I guess they feel like you poor, you ain't got time to be doing that if you're
Okay,
getting
it
a
does
cheap
have
iPhone.
OIS, by the way. It does have OIS.
Yeah, it has OIS, but of course you got to move up to the 8 Plus in order to get the two times zoom camera and the new camera tech that they demoed with the being able to kind of adjust the lighting and make it fancy and all that stuff. But a
An
small
app can do
difference.
that, though. I never understood that. Sorry.
Yeah, an app can do that, but I think a
And the
thing to highlight
animojis.
is that second lens, that two times lens on the
Yeah.
8 Plus. I read that it won't have optical image stabilization. You have to move up to the X to get
Right.
image stabilization on both of them. So
Right.
that's so basically you got three different cameras across three different phones. So
Why?
Okay.
we're gonna start out with Forbes, man. What do you think about that, man? How does it make you feel on the inside? Make you feel secure and safe with Apple?
Yo, he doesn't
No.
like Apple, man. This is
I
unfair.
mean, I'm not. Here's my plan for Apple right now. I'm gonna buy the iPhone X or 10, whatever you want to call it, and I'm gonna unbox it, and then I'm gonna give it to my son or my daughter and
What?
tell them to give me a review. I'm gonna let them do the review. No,
Wow.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Hey, what's
I'm
up,
gonna
Miguel?
review it. I'm gonna try to keep an open mind. And once I'm done with it, yes, I'm gonna probably give it to my teenager son because he's been asking for it. He kind of
All right.
likes the design of it, but as back to the cameras though, why each phone has different cameras on it? Like it doesn't. Why not use the same? I don't know. Just I'm lost for words right now. What? And I never knew that the 8 Plus would not have the dual OIS. That doesn't make sense. Like, put it in the Plus, put it in the 10, and then everybody will be happy. But again, fanboys will buy them no matter what. I mean, I think I seen a picture where people's already waiting for the iPhone 8 and 8 Plus somewhere. Like, you don't have to sit in line anymore. Pre-order it. But I don't know the three different cameras on the three different phones. I don't know. I don't know what you want to call it. It's just maybe that's them being invasive, and I don't know. I think it's just backways. It's almost as bad as my essential phone. You know, put it that way. But hey, at least the cameras are supposed to be good on the iPhone, so we will see. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna review it. I will be honest, but I'm not a fanboy. I can't say I'm a fanboy of Apple, but you gotta try to stay biased on it. Give people your honest review of it, and just move on. But I'm not getting
Yeah,
the 8 or 8 plus though, because it's just like the 7 and 7 plus to me. So I rather wait for the 10 or
yeah,
X,
definitely.
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I agree. So BG, man, how's that make you feel, man? What are your
Go
thoughts
ahead.
on it?
I'm just going to let Alan go.
Oh, you want Alan to go first?
Yeah.
Oh
You
this
gonna
no,
could
line
be
him
hold
up?
on,
this
man.
could take a
Hold
while
on,
though.
Tech Gent. Hold on, Tech Gent. He's the moderator, man. You gotta follow him. So you go ahead.
Oh, how do
Ain't
I
no
feel?
Rob
Oh,
here. Ain't no Rob
well,
here. You gotta go.
okay, you're right. I apologize for trying to go out of order from what the moderator said, but
Structure, please.
structure. Okay, so the cameras, the difference between each camera, you got three phones, three different cameras. You're gonna get three different performances of cameras. So when you inquire about an iPhone, you got to make sure you watch the right YouTube video or the right content with the right camera at the right time and that's for dark during the day and all that. But I don't think it's fair that you. I think that at least just like they did on the 7, at least the 8 Plus should have all the big dog camera options because I'm gonna give it to Apple. The 7 Plus was a boss as far as camera goes. You know what I'm saying? And it still is a boss. So I would I feel like okay, yeah, the 8 that's not the Plus. Okay, you got the single camera, cool. You did that the year before, so people expect it. But don't dumb down the camera on your 8 Plus because that should be a phone. Even though it don't have that display that the X have, the 8 Plus should have the top tier stuff going on with the camera, just like the X. Honestly,
So
Okay.
Alan, you up, man? How's it make
So
you
the
feel?
question is about the cameras, right?
Yeah, yeah.
His cameras
What's your
being
opinions
different.
on it? Yeah.
Um, I think Apple made a phone that it's gonna be their top tier device. I mean, it's basically what I say it's the Note 8 is to the Galaxy S8. Okay, right. It's gonna be the top phone because the Apple only releases only one time a year, so now it's gonna be two. And that Samsung releases almost about the same amount of devices. So it's that same plan. So it's basically if you because if you look the at the S8 Plus was out in April, right? And the
Mhm.
Note 8 was out um
Today.
it was out today, right? Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's basically like a little time frame where it made like a premium device. So I could definitely see how come Apple put like the dual cameras on their premium phone. So I could see that, but I think the only problem I saw was the front facing camera and why you can't do the animojis. You know what I'm saying? Because basically, I think if you could do it on Snapchat, where it's just your head is moving around, you know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah.
I mean, it's basically. I mean, if it's going to be really that cool, I don't know why you can't just put that on the A plus. But I think they're trying to actually set that standard to where it's going to be, hey, if you want this, you got to get this. I mean, it's basically the same thing. Say on the
Yeah.
Note, right? It's the S Pen. You got to get the Note on the on the on the dual cameras. You got to get the Note. So I'm looking at it like that, Miguel. I don't care what Miguel says. I'm not being political. I'm just saying exactly what Samsung does, man. Everybody's doing that because everybody's trying to make, you're saying all the different, everybody's
Well,
trying to make money from
I
us.
I don't agree.
well, yeah,
Honestly, can I step in and say I don't agree?
Okay,
yeah.
First and foremost, I'm gonna
okay, but
say this.
everybody had their
If
turn, but I didn't. Okay, right, I didn't interrupt you, but okay, go ahead.
no, you go ahead,
I
go
didn't
ahead.
interrupt. Oh, okay,
No,
okay,
no, go ahead, Adam. Go ahead.
okay. So after I finish, then we could say, have this little back and forth if you want to.
Go ahead,
Anyways,
wrap it
man,
up, Al.
I think
Go ahead, man.
I think the camera is a $200 difference, and I think there's a lot of people, right. I was just
Wow.
watching the it was the Chris Perillo, man. He was talking about the iPhone. And he said that the front facing cameras, saying, aren't that interesting to him. Saying, and the whole thing is not really big. Saying, and his idea. But
Yeah,
but
I,
but anyways, I think it would have been nice, saying having the front facing camera to actually be the same as the iPhone X, but it has to be different. So
yeah, and I'm kind of mention something from a security perspective. You mentioned the front-facing camera, and literally they're combining the front-facing camera with that um, Face ID functionality.
that's another thing
So
too
that
that we gotta talk about. Face unlock is a part of that. So I
yeah,
don't know if you
so
want to get into face unlock.
so that tech it only exists on the X. So not being able to do that stuff on the 8 Plus, like you're going to do so much with software, but they're going to be using the same thing that they use to unlock your phone and create basically a face based password. They're going to be giving other apps access to that same tech and that same data. So I think it's going to be interesting from a security perspective how that pans out in the future because the fingerprint before, it took a while. Touch ID was super secure, but your face, like everybody has, like anybody can get your face information. They can just scan your face, and
Right.
since they're going to be giving that information to other apps, it's not going to be stored just solely in their little secure enclave. So I think that's going to be interesting. But BG, did you have a rebuttal to Allen?
No, I was just saying. The thing was okay. I know it was just, as far as the separation between the 8 Plus and the iPhone 10. As far as it just being okay, you have to have the comparison to the Note. I think is unfair because first of all, um, the S8 Plus outside of the dual cameras, pretty much, and the 2 gigs of RAM. I mean, they're two different. I mean,
Come on, man.
this is like okay. You got the
All right.
iPhone 8. You got the
Okay.
iPhone 8. You
Great. If
got
you
the
look at the
iPhone 8
Note
Plus.
7, hold on a second, right? Okay, right. How about the S7 and the Note 7? I mean, I had the iris scanner on that one, so now it's not the same thing because Apple's doing it. They're
No,
playing
it's
games.
not.
Well,
No, I'm not talking about the iris scanner. I'm talking
well,
about the
yeah. Let him
separ. I'm
finish.
talking about separation here.
All right,
I'm
go ahead.
talking about
Mm.
separation. I'm talking about what make the X and the 8 Plus the 8 Plus. Now my thing is this.
It's $100
So
more on the Note 8 and the SA Plus. But go ahead.
right, exactly. And what you get an S Pen and 2 gigs of RAM. And the Note is a different type of device. Is a device for a specific type of clientele. People that want S Pens. You know what I'm saying? It's the boss phone, but at the same time, it's a niche phone. This phone is not supposed to be a niche phone. It's supposed to be the leading phone of the company. Everybody want an iPhone. She want the big dog iPhone. You know what I'm saying? So, and this, what are you paying? $200 extra to lose Touch ID and finally get a screen better than 1080?
Okay, right. Okay, right. Okay, right. I think at the same time though, as you're getting options though, BG. Okay, right. You're gonna get, saying, um, it'll be the iPhone 8, and the iPhone 8 Plus that'll give you the same exact options, right, and the AR at the same time. It's not like it's going away. It's still gonna be an option, right?
All right, but listen,
Oh,
And
listen. Can
and if
I?
you want a
let's
cheap
pause
phone,
right
you could
quick.
get the SE and or whatever.
Yeah, we're gonna pause right
Time
quick. We're
out,
gonna welcome
time out,
Eric,
y'all. Time out.
Mr. Easy Computer Solutions himself. I know he brought the popcorn because we've been bringing the rain in the chat with the super chat.
Make it rain.
Easy, what's
We
going
make it
on,
rain.
man?
We
Hey
make it
man, how's it
rain.
going, man? How's it going? Y'all can hear me good or what?
Yeah,
Hey,
man. We
Hello.
man,
always hear you
Yes,
good.
sir.
Yeah, we always hear
Yeah.
you good,
Yeah,
man.
man.
All right. How y'all doing today, man? What's happening with y'all, man? Easy in the building. What's happening?
Not much, man.
I hear
So,
y'all
man, we're
talking
gonna
about
go ahead
all
and
this stuff about iPhones and all this stuff, and I want to join the party, you know?
yeah, man, it's a good topic, man. We're gonna go ahead and so kind of the format we've been taking the each aspect of the phone. Started out with the screen, then moved on to the cameras, and kind of along the way we've been highlighting the fact that there are differences between each of the
chat.
iPhones. And basically,
Can
you
I?
start out with the worst in the iPhone 8 and move up to the best that Apple has in the X. So we're gonna let BG finish, and then I'm gonna get your thoughts on the screens and the cameras. All right, go ahead, BG.
Okay. Now I'm just going. Let me take it to the chat real quick. We got Miguel careless with their money. I can get on. Okay, let me see. The S8 Plus and the Note 8 has about the same separation as the 8 Plus and the
See?
iPhone X.
That's
Words of
exactly what I
Blade
said.
saying.
That's what I said.
And but a
Come on,
lot of
man. Read the
people,
comments,
a
man.
lot of people, man. Okay, I read the comment that went in your favor. Miguel says, "What?
Thank
Not
you.
$200." Kevin Stevenson, if I was an Apple user, I would go for the X, no doubt. Rob Pouncey, Team 100 member, and advertise as media style phones, so it's a natural comparison.
Thank you.
Miguel, you bugging. The iPhone 10, 256 gig, a case, the fast charger, the Apple Care, and tempered glass is about 1621 after taxes. Miguel Miguel says is not a $200 upgrade, and that's what I've been saying. Like it's not a two. To me, I'm gonna ask you, Alan, but to me, it's not worth 200. You're not getting $200 worth of stuff. You're not from the A plus to the iPhone X. For the A plus to be what 799 and the iPhone X to be 999. Come on now, you're not getting $200 worth of stuff. You getting
Bro,
stuff on the iPhone
it's a
X.
totally different looking phone though, man. It's all
But
screen. What are you talking
right, but
about?
okay, but it's all screen because it's missing the fingerprint scanner. That's it. It wasn't no innovation there. It said subtract the fingerprint scanner. They did.
Okay.
Sharp
You're
did
right.
that with the iQuote,
And
the 8
subtract
Quotes years
all the
ago.
bezels.
That's
Yeah,
it.
you
I
know,
mean,
So
you
so
yeah,
didn't you didn't
man.
get
so
innovation. You
yeah,
got
so I'm gonna
the
interject, man.
Bro, it's
I'm
two
gonna
totally
interject.
different
Let
phones,
me
BG.
yeah, let me
Look at
interject,
this. Hold
man.
on.
It's getting kind
Hold
of
on, man.
heated.
And the Note 8 and the
I'm
SA
a
Plus,
so I'm
man,
gonna ask this
exactly
question,
alike.
right? Yeah, so I'm gonna ask this question. So there's
They
a
look
hundred
exactly
dollar
alike.
difference.
Stop
There's
playing with me, BG.
there's $100 difference
You crazy.
between the SA Plus and the Note 8. But if we kind of play devil's advocate, because the SA Plus really is Samsung's flagship. The Note, they don't really expect to sell that many, and I think that's the same approach Apple is taking. They don't expect to sell that many of the X's, right? That's kind of a look what we can do kind of device. But really,
Oh,
the one
yeah.
that's going to sell the most is probably going to be the Plus.
Hold on, man.
So if we compare
If
the
they
SA
sell a lot
Plus,
of, oh no, wait. All right, it's gonna sell a lot. It's gonna sell a lot because the hype is gonna be definitely real, and
well,
everybody will be returning their A pluses. Like saying, after I'm finished
well,
reviewing it, I'm doing the same exact shit.
so the fact is, Apple's already said that they aren't going to manufacture that many of the X's. That's
Oh
just
no,
a fact.
well that's
Like they're
what they
not going.
say.
Well, they can't do it.
Well, what'll
They've already
happen?
said that's why it's not being launched at the same time as the 8 and the 8 Plus.
Oh yeah, and you work
Like
for Tim
they,
Cook.
well, I mean, this is coming from Tim Cook, so I'm telling you what he said.
Okay, I
Like
didn't hear that.
the X is going to be manufactured in limited quantities. That's verbatim what they said.
Hey man, if you
So
believe everything you see in the media section, then
I'm
this
not
whole
telling you what I
world,
saw in the media. I'm telling you literally what they said
bro,
at the
it's
keynote.
just a plan, man. It's just a plan to make you want to buy it. What are you talking about?
No, that's not a
Hey,
plan.
Or,
So you're telling me that a
or they're
company
gonna
that
say,
is
wait.
so you're
Or they're
telling me a
gonna
company
say, they're
that's
gonna say,
never
all
manufactured a
right, it's gonna
screen
be
higher than
it.
1080p, never made a screen that wasn't a rectangle, never made a phone that didn't have a home button
Bro,
and a
this is
fingerprint.
Apple.
Like,
This is a
are you saying that they're like great at
Bro, it's $1 billion company. You
innovation?
think these people don't have no money to just buy out all these screens and just ship out the damn phone to you like in like January or something? It'll happen.
Nah.
It'll
Look,
happen. Easy
Apple
notes.
is not in the business
Stop
of spending a
playing.
whole lot of money on devices. They're a hardware company.
woo.
That's
Oh,
not
boy,
their
boy.
job.
All right, easy, man.
Like they're not gonna
I
do
gotta hear
that.
your
So
opinion, easy, man. Because I know.
Oh,
Listen, hold
you
on one
ready for
second.
me?
Hold on one second. I'm gonna stop Easy right there because I know Easy loves his note, and he always
you gonna
says
stop
that.
before you start?
Correct. And
Nah,
he
man, we gonna
always
go.
says
We
that he
gonna
leaves his iPhone.
we gonna
Right.
go.
He
I
always
put
leaves his
Nah, man, we
wait
iPhone
gonna
in the
go
a minute.
back of the
ahead.
table
Tech
We
because
Jen
gonna
should
go
be
ahead and
doing
let
this.
easy.
Tech
We gonna go
Jen
ahead and
is
let
the
easy
one.
get going, man.
Right.
I gotta get a couple iPhone guys in here.
I look, check this out, right? I think y'all got it all wrong, man. Apple gonna sell a boatload of phones, man. Let me tell you this much.
Bang bang.
For you got to look at it like this. To Apple people, this is innovation to them. This is a huge upgrade for Apple people, right? You're talking about a bezel-less display, a phone that has AR, VR capability. This is not the S. This is not the iPhone 7, 7 Plus. This is a totally different concept. This is totally different from what Apple people do. You got to look at it from the eyes of Apple people, not Android. It ain't got nothing to do. You think, listen, you got to think about it like this. Apple people give no nothing with Android. They don't care what Android users do. Apple people love their Apple devices. That's why they camped out. That's why they ready for it. They want this device. Believe it or not, I believe that the iPhone X's is, of course, it's going to be in short demand because this is how they do it. This is how you go all look at Apple history. Look at what the iPhone 6. Remember when the iPhone 6 came out, there was claimed to be a shortage. Well, it was all about supply and demand. They
Got a
wanted to
shortage with the
have this
6
hype.
Plus.
Right. It was all about the hype. It was all about the hype. And I'm telling you, for Apple user, looking at that device, it doesn't even matter about the cost and price and $1,000. Man, these folks been waiting on this device for 10 years. This is a 10-year anniversary device. Apple people is jumping through hoops. They will pay $2,000, $3,000 for this device. It doesn't matter. Apple people, this is what they want. They get wireless charging, AR, VR, good high resolution AMOLED display. They're getting all the bells and whistles that they've been asking for. For an Apple user, this is their greatest day.
Can I just ask one question, easy? And just to look at it from a different perspective, I want you to look at it from the perspective of you actually working for Apple. Now, is it that because you know they're gonna make tons of 8s and 8 pluses. Now this iPhone 10. Let me ask you a question. Is that like an experiment? Is that why it's not so many of them? Is it because the company doesn't want to put too many out there because they're not sure of exactly what's going to happen with this not having Touch ID? People are scared of change, especially people that buy Apple phones and iPhones. They're scared of change. That's why they won't try Android phones. I'm an Android guy and I'll try Apple phone, but Apple folks won't try an Android phone because they're scared of change. So is it them just okay? We're gonna put these phones right here for the people that don't like change, and then we got this wild card, but we're not gonna make too many of them because we got to see who's gonna jump on it and who's not gonna jump on it.
Apple is playing the best of both worlds. Here's the thing. If you want an iPhone with a fingerprint scanned on it, bam, we giving it to you. If you want new and improved innovation, bam, we giving it to you. If you want a cheap iPhone, you could get an iPhone SE. All of them go run iOS 11. So
All
when
good
you look
cameras.
at it, at an Apple perspective, they give you everything, the best of both worlds. You don't have to spend $1,000 on that device. You could get the 8 or you could get the 8 Plus. You don't have to spend that. See, that's how they're looking at it. Like, you really don't have to spend $1,000 on this. But I could give you this. I could tell you this much. My daughter, after that keynote address, she said the buzz in the high schools right now at her school is all about the X. I mean, all the millennials right now, that's all they want right now is the iPhone X. That's the buzz around school. And I'm gonna tell you that, for Apple people, they all looking for the X. Now, whether or not it's gonna be shortage and demand and whatever, that's here. I say we have to wait till the device come out. But at the end of the day, I believe that Apple giving it to how you want it. You want the 6. You want the 8, you want the 8 Plus with the fingerprint scanner, booyah. You can keep it the same, but we're going to give you some updated features, AR, VR, wireless charging and stuff like that, right? It's an upgrade because you got the A11 chip in it. But if you want to get innovation from Apple, you got to get the X. So they give you the best of both worlds. All the iPhones going to run iOS 11. So you don't have to buy the $1,000 iPhone. I mean, that's the way they're saying it. I mean, basically.
So let me ask you this question. Let me pose this question to everybody. So if you want the new little lighting features that they spent some time on the keynote talking about with the cameras, if you want a camera, the little 2x zoom camera that has OIS, so it actually takes better zoomed in pictures. If you want a phone that has a brighter, higher resolution OLED screen, if you want a phone that has the Face ID so you can do the best little Instagram and Snapchat little filters, at that point, are all the phones an option for you, or is there only one you can buy?
That's going to be the option. You got to pay to play. You want everything in the kitchen sink, you got to buy the iPhone X. If you want everything in the kitchen sink, you got to buy the iPhone X. It's to me, you look at it like this: the Galaxy Note 8 and the Galaxy S8. If you want a S Pen with S Pen software with 6 gigs of RAM, 835 processor, you got to get the Note. If you just want a device without the pen and you just want the best of the best, get the S8. So Apple's looking at it like that. Now you can always buy a Galaxy Prime or Galaxy Rebel or whatever. You can always go the cheaper way. You got to think about it like this. When it comes down to cost, they got devices for everybody. That don't want to spend $1,000. You can buy a Galaxy phone that costs $200. It's probably be the Go Gadget Galaxy. If you want an iPhone that costs $150, get the iPhone SE. So you got choices. That's the whole thing. And I think for people that's complaining about the price, you got to look at it from Apple perspective. If you want the best of the best, you want OIS, you want this, you want the bezel display, you got to put up the capital. It's just that simple.
Man, I wouldn't have said it any better.
So I have a question, because there's going to be there are rumors, right? There are rumors about the iPhone X. Yeah, there are rumors about the iPhone X availability, whether that's just publicity to make people feel like it's more exclusive and all that stuff, or not. Do you think that all the people that have been waiting for the new iPhone and are pre-ordering the 8 and the 8 Plus, it's going to be millions and millions of people? Do you think that those people are going to be trying to sell their 8 and 8 Plus to get the X?
No, all they're gonna do is be calling mommy and daddy to add a line to get the X. That's I look at it like this. The millennials, for prime example. I mean, if you're not rocking the X in high school, it's like a status symbol. And you know what? Here's the thing: you got to look at it like this. We knew this was coming. I mean, you could save $50 or $60 or $80 a month for 12 months to have $1,100. I think it's not even about the price for Apple people, because they got a lot of deals out there. I mean, you could go to AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, and you give them $300 and you go get an iPhone. So it ain't like it's gonna be hard to get. I mean, everybody underneath the sun gonna have the iPhone 8. I mean, from the Best Buy to Walmart, the Dollar General store, is gonna be hanging on pegs all over the place. You can get an iPhone. It's gonna be available. Now the X, you got to be, and Apple doing this on purpose. Think about this. You want to be the best. You want to, have the exclusive deal. You want to walk around town with the iPhone X. Booyah! You got to pay to play. Now they go have a lot of people that's already camped out. That's already go buy them out. Right? And they go sell them on the black market. And I'm telling you, people go pay it. They go buy it. The $2,000, give them all to me. There ain't no money to them people, man. They got buy me daddy credit card. Ain't no big deal. It ain't no big deal. They gonna spend $2,000 on the iPhone, get Apple Care, they gonna get everything else. They gonna have it. I'm telling you. And I think we're living in a world that it's difference between Android and iOS users. iOS users is deep into the operating system. They got Apple TV, they got Apple Watches, they got iPhones. I mean, it's all over the place. If you go walk into the malls, walk into in the schools, what do you see the millennials have? iMessage. You see that crap they showed on stage? Man, my daughter was going crazy over that stuff, man. Like, I can't believe they bringing this to the iPhone. Like, that is serious. Us adults, we think it's a joke. We're like, that's stupid. But ask a teenager that. Ask a teenager that. They were like, I love it. It's the best thing, like, for real. But us, we so old, you know, like, that's stupid, right? I mean, that's really stupid. But ask the millennials. They'll tell you that's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
All right. I think at the same time too. Have you went on Facebook? Have you went on Instagram? Have you seen all the memes and everything about the iPhone X? It's very very hyped up, and I think in my personal opinion, because I remember how the 7 Plus launched, and I was on Verizon at the time, and I remember after it hit that 3 a.m. and it was already a back order date. So it's gonna be us paying for the phone that's not ready yet. So at the same time, I think, or if you have to go into the Apple Store and then I had to go into the Apple Store. I waited almost 8 hours online with Jose, and then we finally got it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, it was the 7 Plus because everybody wanted the 7 Plus, and then when you have so many people line up, it's gonna be all over the news and all over, and it's exactly what Apple wants.
That's what they want. It's going to be hyped over. It's been on the news already. I mean, it's been hyped up. I mean, you talk about a device. It's a 10-year anniversary. Apple never made a device like this before. This is what I've been saying. Like, people, us adults, that's Android users, some of us that's iPhone users and stuff like that, we looking at it like, well, Android been having it for a long time. We've been saying the same song and dance for years. But at the end of the day, Apple fans never had it. Apple fans never had VR, AR. Apple fans never had wireless charging. Now, if you go to Starbucks, they got wireless charging pads all over the place. Guess what? It's going to be everywhere because Apple doing it.
Yeah, that's true. It's interesting you say that because,
of
course, I've been getting hit up on. Of course, I've been getting hit up on Facebook about people asking, and for the past couple of years, man, people that have iPhones, whenever the new Galaxies come out, they'll kind of be looking over the fence like, it's that new Galaxy. Okay, does it do this? Does it do that? Because they've been having the same design. Now that the X is coming out, I think initially, like Easy was saying, we look at it from the standpoint of the price. But if you're locked into the ecosystem, because I had somebody talking to me yesterday asking me about the Note, and she was like, "Oh man, it looks so cool, but I've got Apple TV and I've bought so much stuff on the App Store, and just the thought of leaving all that behind and trying to pick up and start somewhere new is really what's keeping them locked into the ecosystem." That, and like Easy was saying, I read a report the other day that iMessage is the most popular messaging platform like on the planet right now. And that's the one thing that, like, most people, when you ask them about their iPhone, like, you see people with 4-year-old iPhones, iPhone 5s and 5Ss that are all broke up, and they're keeping it because they need to be able to communicate with people on iMessage. Like, that's what that platform is keeping them tied to Apple, especially the millennials. So I think that's a good point. But I want to get Forbes in on it because Forbes, have you owned an iPhone in the past? Do you have an iPhone right now?
I have not owned an iPhone. My daughter has an iPhone 7, and I tried to play with it for a little bit, and I pretty much gave it to her. Like, here, take it. I just think it's boring, but, but like Eric said, the millennials will jump on the iPhone 10, iPhone X. I mean, you can see it already. My son, like I said, I'm gonna get the X. My son's already asking for it because it's an iPhone. Look at the design. They have face recognition in it. It's to them, like Eric said, it's a brand new device. It's like sliced bread or something to them. Like, I don't know. It's just they love it. I mean, we can't deny that Apple fans will love the phone. I mean, it's just there. And innovation. You can call it innovation. You can call it whatever you want to call it. You know, if you like the iPhone, then you like the iPhone. I mean, it's just it is what it is. I mean, if you're an iPhone user, you're gonna like it. You're going to either buy the 8 Plus or the 10 just to have it because it's something different. You know, but
Yeah.
like I said, I'm gonna try the X or the 10, whatever you want. Again, whatever you want to call it, and I'll just give you my honest opinion on it. But you know, the comments are going crazy. If you read the comments right now, just you
Okay, so
know,
Cafe, okay, right. In the comments, right, I got Cafe said, "How you gonna
Yeah. No.
play on the essential phone and you think an iPhone is really boring?" Answer that one.
I have I not said the essential phone is boring. It's quite boring. That's
Yeah.
why look, I'm holding my note, and the essential phone is behind me because
Is it?
yes, the essential phone is yeah, it's pretty boring. Now the One Plus Five is pretty cool, but the essential phone, I mean, it's bare minimum Android. So yeah, that's why look, it's in here. I still have it, but it's yeah, it is boring too. I'm not gonna lie, but when you look at least I can change stuff on there. If I want to put a ROM on it, I can if I really knew how. But if I want to change the icons, I could, you know, put Nova Launcher on it, which I think they finally fixed that too. With Essential, so I could change it up and make it a little bit less boring than iPhone. I mean, iPhone is just it's just apps and that's it.
The group
Yeah.
icons.
So I want to ask a question. Since the majority of us are kind of iPhone people, not iPhone, we're Android people. Not necessarily saying that we hate the iPhone, but because our experiences allow us to interact with a lot of different devices, we're different than most people. If most people buy an iPhone, they literally see the same phone for 2 years in a row because they get the number, then they get the S edition. So they aren't used to a lot of change and a lot of options. This is gonna be the first year they really have something to choose from. So if you're a friend that you actually like, not the one you don't like, your friend that you like comes up to you, they're an iPhone person. They're like, "Hey, which iPhone should I get? Which one would you recommend?" I'm gonna start with BG.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna add something in that I wanted to say anyway. I would say the 8 Plus, honestly, because it still has Touch ID. Because if you think about it, with the newer iPhones and with the Note, also Samsung, I'm not going to exclude Samsung. They were trying to iterate that fingerprint scanner under the display. So I don't think that facial recognition that Apple has is going to work as good as everybody think it's going to work. So I would say get the 8 Plus and hold on to that Touch ID because it's just for the simple fact that even though you're not getting that screen and you're not getting that bezel-less display, you're gonna get more of a utility. You're gonna get more a better experience, I might say, because I'm telling you, I think like I feel like this. They wanted to put that fingerprint scanner under the screen, but they couldn't. So the next thing what they want to do is say you touch facial recognition on the iPhone, and I just don't think it's gonna work as good as everybody think it's gonna work, or be as convenient as everybody think it is gonna be. I think you're gonna see people walk around with iPhone X's and passcodes and patterns.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely gonna be something they have to fall back to. I don't know if you guys knew, but Apple put out an official statement about the Face ID fail on stage. They was talking about basically trying to authenticate to too many faces that weren't old boy's face, so it defaulted to the pin. So it forced them to put in the pin instead of trying to read his face anymore. Whether that's true or not, we'll have to see. But I want to go to, I guess I go to Alan and ask you. You got somebody that comes up to you, somebody you like, care about. They say, "I'm an iPhone person. Which iPhone should I get? Which one do you recommend?"
I mean, as of right now, there's only one phone that you can actually buy right now. So it's 8 Plus. So if I was, um, I'm, I mean, if that person had a situation to where she was like, "Hey, I need a phone right now," I think the only phone to get is the phone that's coming out next week. You know what I'm saying? And that's the 8 Plus. But if you're, I think if you're hypothetically speaking about um, if the both of the phones were out at the same time, then I would definitely say the iPhone X because a lot of people want that phone, you know. So I think, hey man, I'll go with the iPhone X because it's gonna be the standard for every other iPhone. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't have the iPhone X, then you have the iPhone 6 in their eyes. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it
Yeah.
like that.
So all right. So easy. I know you got your daughter. You're exposed to, I'm not gonna say the target audience, but just a audience, a different segment of people that to them money don't really mean anything yet. They're not working for it. They just gonna ask for some stuff and get it. Um, if you had the option to tell your daughter which iPhone to get, which one would you tell her to get?
Well, the thing
That's
about
tough.
it is, you look at it like this, all right? For millennials, they all go want the iPhone X, and I think we get this wrong. Most of the millennials already got iPhone 7 pluses, all right?
Mm.
So they will wait for the iPhone X. They already got iPhone 7 pluses already. The millennials got
Mm.
the latest and greatest, so they go wait for the X. Most of them
Mm.
are, but most people that want this, maybe this with some of the additional features, they're going to get the X. I mean, get the 8 plus. But most of millennials that's already rocking 7Ss already, 7S pluses, they're going to wait. And here's the thing. All right, just say for instance, I think we looking at this wrong. If you walk into AT&T, T-Mobile, Verizon, and they got both devices ready to go, you got one that you could put $199 down, or you could put $299 down, right? So you got a choice between the iPhone 8 Plus or the iPhone X, and maybe $100 difference on contract or device payment plan. I think at that point, it's all about if you want Touch ID, if you like the old phone factor, if your iPhone 6 is cracked up, broken up, and you're ready for an upgrade. You got to think about the carriers. They go do a lot of strategy here. You're going to have, about time the iPhone X come out, you're going to see buy one, get ones. You go add a line, get this, get that. We're going to have the lady with the milk and cookies. It's going to be a whole lot of stuff going on for you to get this device. At this point, it's not going to even be about the price, because most people are going to be paying it on the device payment plan anyway. Most people in the United States is going to get the device, drop $199 down on it, add a line, and get the device, and they're going to be happy with it. $1,000 is not even, it's not, when you can get it on device payment plans, I promise you, the carriers will make sure that it's affordable to get it at time of purchase.
Well, I just want to say another thing too, because a lot of the carriers are actually making trade-in offers, how the same way how the Note 8 did. So if you
Yeah.
have a iPhone 6, um, it'll be like another, I I, I think it's $300 off, and I seen that Target had like a similar
Yeah.
one as well, to where it's it's like another $200 off on the 8 Plus. I'm talking about the 8 Plus. But I think it'll be the same exact thing on the iPhone X. I think for this year, it's the year where the companies want phones back. You know what I'm saying? And they want to make a little bit of profit off the phones back, and they're gonna resell it. I don't know what they're gonna do with it, but you know what I'm saying, they're making profit from that, and they're
And
gonna
you know
give you a
what?
little bit of a
This
discount.
gonna be the last. This is a TikTok cycle. By the way, guys, y'all got to remember this is the TikTok cycle. So we going into a whole nother realm in 2018. This is it, guys. I mean, I think what we seeing right now is a transformation. All right, going into a new era. I promise you, I've been talking about this for about 2 years on my live streams about the transformation in the TikTok cycle, that now we're going to go into 2018. It's going to be a totally different era. We've seen it happen in 2016 with the prices. Now we're going into 2018, and it's going to be a consistent price point. The $1,000 price points are here. It's here to stay. It's going to be a 3-tier market. I mean, you got to think about this as far as the future, guys. This is a talk cycle. We're going into a tick cycle going into 2018. totally different changes is coming. Foldable displays, 4K displays, high resolution cameras, high end this, high end that. If people asking and crying over innovation, you're about to get it. In 2018, you got to get it. But save your coins, because you talk about $1,400, $1,500 price points. It's coming. I'm telling you, people say, nobody innovated, nobody innovated. Okay, they're listening. They say, we're going to do it. We're going to give you foldable displays. We're going to give you high resolution screens. We're going to give you everything you're crying about. But you better bring your pocketbook with you, because it's going to be expensive.
Yeah, it's definitely a shift.
I mean, I'm not going to really look at it like that, because now we're talking about, just because I think sometimes, right, just because Apple does something,
It's not
now
Apple.
we talking. No, I'm just saying.
Okay.
No, I'm not just talking about you specifically, Easy. I'm talking about like Apple. We are techies. We know, what came out, when it came out, who did what first. We know the nitty gritty. You see what I'm saying? We know the nitty gritty. The average consumer don't know the nitty gritty. You see what I'm saying? So now, I say we got this iPhone X, and I mean the phone off the break is $1,000. No taxes, no hopped up anything. You ain't had to get the 128 gig to make it $1,000. It's just $1,000 phone. You see what I'm saying? And the selling points, the cameras, the display, I really don't think you will really get the full use out of it. The average consumer is going to look at a picture from the 8 Plus and the iPhone 10 the same way. Fiscally, because the iPhone 10 is so expensive, it's $1,000. So even if you lease this phone, it's going to be a certain amount of yes.
Listen, right on the Note 8, right? If you don't have a trade-in for the Note 8, it is $930. Okay, right. Okay, right. On Verizon, it is $960. Okay, right. And it's the same amount of storage on the base model of the iPhone X, man. It's basically only a $60, $70 difference.
Well, really,
So how are you talking about price?
Mr. Phone Tech at work.
Go ahead, Mr.
I'm gonna put it to you like this. For honestly, the premier device for Samsung is the S8 Plus. Excuse me, is the S8 Plus, and you get an S8 Plus for a good deal. Honestly, the Note 8 is a niche device. That's why you don't see a whole rack of commercials and all things of that nature. It's a niche device. It's not a. It's not the.
I don't know if Easy agrees with you.
It's not. I mean, the Note 8 is a niche to me. I'm talking about
They sold over a million phones, right? By the way,
right, because a lot of people like notes. A lot of people like notes, but at the same time, it's still a niche device. It's not the It's not a device that's comparable to an iPhone. First of all, it do too much.
Oh, shots fired!
It does entirely too much to compare to an iPhone. So let's take a phone that you can compare with an iPhone, like an S8 Plus, that still has a great camera. That even though it only has 4 gigs, it hasn't slowed down yet. I've experienced maybe a false close here and there, but it's not, the typical Samsung lag that I used to experience all the time. So I'm not gonna, as far as price goes, I'm talking about what you get. I mean, for $1,000, you get everything that's already been out here, subtracted by a fingerprint scanner, only because your company failed to put a fingerprint scanner under a display. And this facial recognition, I'm telling you, is not going to go over Like everybody think it's gonna go over. It's not.
Do you
A
think?
lot. A lot of people are scared to give up Touch ID. A lot of people.
Hey, BG Tech, do you think that the Apple fans really know anything about what we talking about, like as far as Apple failing to put the fingerprint scanner underneath the glass? Most of your Apple people just looking at the design, the commercials, the marketing, that is the new iPhone coming out. Most of the people, even the millennials, they don't know that Apple failed to put the fingerprint scanner underneath the glass. Do we really know that Apple failed? I mean, do we really have evidence that Apple failed to put the fingerprint scanner underneath the glass? I mean, that was all rumors and hearsay. I mean, do we have evidence that Apple failed to put the fingerprint scanner underneath the glass? Because we do got devices out there that does have a fingerprint scanner underneath the glass. That there is one device out there as a concept device that does have a fingerprint scanner underneath the glass. So I think we take the rumors and make it facts when we really don't know the truth. You see what I'm saying? As far as price, you know, you gotta look at it as a consumer, not a techie. This is a new iPhone. This is new. This is fresh. This is a new design, new technology. That's all they gonna be looking at. They're not looking at. Listen, I'm gonna tell you, when you see the Apple commercials with all them dots going in this lady face, that's gonna be the selling point as far as opening your phone. Just look at it. Most of your Apple people never saw that before. Even, I mean, yes, as Android people, we've been having it for years. Apple people never had this. So for an Apple person, when they're looking at these commercials with this lady with all these freckles and all that stuff, and that's how they go market it, they're gonna love it. It's gonna be like the best thing since sliced bread. I'm telling you. And I'm being devil's advocate here.
I'm telling you,
Yeah,
I
so
don't think honestly, right? I mean, I'm just gonna be honest. I feel what you're saying, easy, but from the temperature that I'm taking out here, from what I see from average consumers, I don't think that they're gonna think that facial recognition is more secure than a Touch ID. They're not gonna want to give up that Touch ID. I'm telling you, it's already memes out here about, oh, you gotta wear a mask to sleep and all this. I'm telling you,
Okay, then
yeah,
I got a question for you, BG. I
yeah.
got a question for you. Will the iPhone 8 and the 8 Plus and the iPhone X outsell the S8, S8 Plus, and Note 8?
I, what I
Will it?
think is,
Oh, what is it? What's the answer,
I
man?
don't think so.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Ooh.
I
Oh
think you
man,
have
you
to
crazy,
combine
bro.
all of them together to outsell the SA Plus.
It's
Or the
What?
SA. I mean, we don't even have to. We don't even have to. We don't even have to
Oh
add in
no.
the note. Just the
I,
SA and SA Plus. A
are we
lot of
talking
people.
in just the U.S. or
well,
worldwide?
A lot of people
Everywhere.
losing confidence in Apple, and I can see it because Apple's being ran
because
by
Apple sells 70 million iPhones a year. That's why,
yeah,
because they sell 70 million of them a year.
yeah. So, and that's a good point. Easy. I like to interject with facts and figures, right? So to kind of give us some perspective, especially I was thinking back to what you guys were saying about what Samsung's flagship was as far as sales. It's the SA Plus. The SA Plus outsells the Note easily. The SA Plus outsells the regular S8. So that's Samsung's flagship device. That's their bread and butter device. That's their moneymaker. As far as iPhone goes, it's going to be the 8 Plus. That's just simply the one people are going to fall to. You don't want the small one. You want the bigger one. And their sales figure, so they sell more of the pluses than they do of any of their other models. As far as total sales go, Apple is actually third in the world behind Huawei and Samsung, but that's total phone sales. If you look at just the particular model, Apple's only sold two phones in the past. They threw the SE in there last year, kind of mixed it up. But as far as individual phone sales, nobody's going to compete with Apple. They're going to outsell you as far as individual phone sales.
And
I
the
think
iPhone
the
8 and the iPhone X will actually change all that sales figure after everything is done. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
well, I don't. Well, it's not going to happen because Apple is actually losing the Chinese market. The reason being is because Apple has yet to put out a big phone, and they actually backtracked this year. Everybody else's screens got bigger, and Apple's got bigger, but really they just kind of caught up with what people were doing for the smaller phones. But in China, they like big phones, and Apple has been losing to some of the other options, specifically from Huawei. Huawei's taking over China, and that's a huge market. And that's why they've actually surpassed Apple as far as total phone sales. Apple is third now. And I
But
think that's
wait,
going to
are we looking
continue.
at? Okay, so I got a question for you, right? So
Mhm.
so are we looking at the Samsung as far as the flagship sales, or saying total as the whole division for mobile? Because I don't
Well,
know.
well, that's what I was specifying. I was like, as far as individual phone sales, like if you want to look at the S8 versus the iPhone 8, iPhone 8 is going to beat the brakes off of everybody, right? You can't. There's no single line of phones that's going to outsell the iPhone. But if you look at
Did
total phone sales worldwide from that manufacturer, Apple can't sell enough iPhones to keep up with Samsung and everything they're doing and all that stuff. So that's a different figure. But just to kind of put it in perspective, that 70 million that Easy was talking about as far as iPhone sales is like Samsung is going to do probably about 50 to 60 of the S line and probably about 7 or 8 of the Note. Like that's their projection as far as sales. So they're going to lose, but at the end of the day, it's Apple people don't have a choice. Like that's what like they want a new iPhone, they gotta buy the new iPhone. They gotta get that new color. It's a status symbol.
So do you think that the Apple fanboys that have the iPhone 7 and 7 Plus, will they jump on any one of the new devices, or will it be the people that have like the iPhone 6, 6S, and even the 5 or the SE or whatever it is? Which one do you think, or you think they all would just jump on the 8 Plus because it's just new for this year?
I mean,
From what I've been
the
seeing,
millennials go for the X, man. I mean, you think about this.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, they already got the 7 pluses, right? They already got 7Ss. I mean, to millennials, it don't make any sense to go to the 8, the 8 plus. They're gonna go straight for the X, and that's why it's no big deal for them to wait till November or December to get it. Think about the strategy of Apple, right? Do it in November, close to Christmas. Man, you gotta think about it as far as a company strategy, right? It's close to Christmas. You got the iPhone X as a Christmas stuffer, stocking stuffer. Most of your millennials gonna probably say, "Daddy, mommy, you know what I want for Christmas? The iPhone X." Okay, well, it come out in November. We'll have it for you for Christmas. There you go.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I think
I
it's
just wanna shout out. Hold on one second. I just want to shout out Mr. J. Will. He asked us a question if you wanna switch gears after the iPhone conversation. He's asking if the industry is actually ready for the foldable displays. But I don't know if you want to switch gears. Up
okay.
to you,
Well, I mean,
moderator.
if yeah, I was gonna say that like I knew the iPhone topic was gonna be heated and it's a big deal. You got to give respect where it's due. They're gonna sell a gang load of iPhones. I've been reading reports just to kind of get some perspective on really what's going on. And iPhone 8 pre-orders are selling out. Like they're already hitting back order status and stuff like that. And we already know it's going to be that case for the 8, but I think it's going to take some time to actually see and know for sure what Apple's true strategy was. If they were just, talking about limited numbers on the X just to hype it up, or if they really were kind of, having trouble manufacturing it, because those are rumors floating around too. And so once the dust settles, sometime next year, we'll be able to see the numbers
Can I make
and what
one
they're
more
really selling.
statement? Can I
Yeah,
make one
sure.
more statement? All right, so you got to put this in perspective too. A lot of people say that Apple is down and they down. You got to remember, Apple is not selling as many iPhones as they did last year. Okay, so I think a lot of people get this wrong here because they're saying that Apple ain't making no money, they down in sales and stuff like that. Apple is competing with themselves. So when it come down to like maybe the 6S, the plus or whatever, when it come down to the 7 and 7 plus, Apple is not beating themselves, but they're still beating in the industry. Apple, when it come out to these 8s and 8 plus, man, it's hyped up, man. Even Think about this. This stream, we talking about the Apple 8 Plus and 8 Plus. Could you imagine a lot of YouTubers, and it's been happening all over YouTube lane, all over Instagram, all over all the social medias. It's all about the iPhone. This is like Apple's glory. Even if it's bad or good, it's still marketing for them. Bad or good, it's still marketing for them. And I think they're in their glory right now. They're like, yes, give us memes. We'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And this is really their only time to shine. You know, Apple doesn't release a lot of devices. At the end of the day, if you're an Apple person, you get iPhone time, you get iPad time, and that's it. Android is pretty much in the news, you know, damn near every other day for somebody releasing something new and trying something new. But if you're an Apple person, this is your time. Yeah.
Okay. So I got two questions for Easy and for BG. Max, Easy, are you getting the 8 or the 8 Plus? Or
I'm gonna get the 8 Plus and I'm getting the X.
Okay, cool. So I just had a question for BG. If the Samsung has a phone that has a foldable display, and if it comes out either this year, or the next, right? And if the price tag is over $1,200, I mean, is that something that you'd be willing to get because it has a foldable display?
I mean, honestly, as far as foldable displays go, I'm not sure. Like, I'm not really interested in that right now. I would need to see. It would for me to spend my money. It has to be something that I want for a reason. It's a reason that I'm buying a phone with a foldable display. And I've not really been introduced to phones with foldable displays. Only do like prototypes and pictures and stuff that I've seen, but no real, rhyme, reason or rhyme behind the reason. So I mean, not really. I mean, it's.
Okay, man. I think that Samsung is gonna give you a whole show. I'm saying if they do actually do that, so it'll make it look amazing. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the tablet game is kind of slowly fading right now. So if you could make a tablet into the size of a phone, then I think it's gonna bring a lot of
Yeah, I
people.
mean, you think about this. All right, this here, for instance, you got a 6.3-inch phone, right? Just say you're a business user, and you could fold that puppy out to an 8-inch tablet with pen support. Oh my goodness. Oh man, that's like heaven to business users. I mean, that's like, think about this. You're in college, right? And you got your phone, but you got your professor talking to you, want to jot down notes, and all of a sudden you take your phone out and fold that puppy open, and you got a whole 8-inch tablet sitting right there. With all the functionality of the node, all the functionality to the web, you got some functionality here and there, and all you got to do is close that puppy up and put it in your pocket. Man, that's boss. That's boss, man. I'm telling you, man, I'm telling you, foldable displays, man. I've been waiting on this for years, man. I'm so hyped about it. I'm telling you, we're in a TikTok cycle, and I think next year, people crying about innovation. You're going to get it. It's coming. And I think foldable displays is going to be awesome, man.
That's coming with a price tag too.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, because people,
Well,
they want innovation.
yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you got the spin player. Think about this. All right, before we talk about price, it's not about the price. Think about this. People buy $18,000 Apple Watches, the first generation. What about the price? What about it? $18,000 for an Apple Watch.
You talking about ballers, though.
$18,000.
You talking about
Yeah.
people
But that's what I'm saying. So Apple come out with an $18,000 Apple Watch and they sell like crazy. I mean, think about that for a second, right? I mean, I know we
I
talk
don't know
about
if I
prices.
say it's so like
I'm
crazy.
just saying, though. I'm just saying, for the $18,000 Apple Watch, I mean, look, I seen, as soon as the Apple announced it, I went on Instagram and Beyonce on the airplane with an Apple Watch, with the balls hog. You see what I'm saying? I'm saying it like this. Listen, I'm not rich. We all ain't rich on here. I mean, I understand that. But you got to look at the different perspectives of we techies, right? And you got to sometimes think about average consumers and what Apple trying to bring to the market or what Samsung trying to bring to the market. They bring in different tiers of devices and accessories for people that if you don't want to pay for high tier product, you can always buy the low end budget and it still works the same, right? But if you want to get the high elite product, then there it is. Is it right or wrong? I mean, to a person that got millions of dollars in the bank, they don't care. But you you look at it that perspective too. If I was a millionaire, I wouldn't buy nothing but an $18,000 Apple Watch. I mean, why not? I mean, I got the money, right? So the iPhone X, you think the big ballers gonna buy the iPhone 8? No, they gonna get the iPhone X. So the millennials, what they go, mommy, daddy, I want the iPhone X. I mean, it's just the world we live in. People pay for what they want. If you want the new latest and greatest Jordans, people be camped out for days to get Jordans. I see it all the time, right? If you want the latest and greatest Jordans, they will be camped out for 2 or 3 days to get those Jordans.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that is at this point, especially the way phones are marketed now in the US at least, we don't buy phones and see the full price. You go to a Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, Sprint, they're going to hit you with the $30 or $40 a month. And as of right now, I think the name of the game is the trade-in offer. We mentioned earlier that, if you buy a Samsung device and they're already doing it with the Apple devices, you can trade in another device, your current one or whatever, and get some money off, up to $300 off of the, the new Apple device that's coming out. And like I said, I got my Note 8, and I'm going to end up coming out of pocket $306. And that's not any kind of special, backdoor deal. That's just a pre-order bonus of $150 off top, and then a trade-in of $480 for the G6. That's something anybody can do. So as far as the price, I think that's, like Easy saying, that's irrelevant, especially here in America. Other, segments, that might not be the case, but in America, we're not worried about price, especially the way the carriers are presenting it now. I think that's pretty important. So what that leaves people with is just, what do they want? Do they want a bigger screen? Do they want, build quality? Do they want an S Pen? Do they want Face ID?
They want Touch ID. I think people want Touch ID.
I think you want Touch ID.
Yeah. Hey, check this out, right? Think about this. Same thing with headphone jacks. I mean, it's going away. It's one of those devices
that's going away.
If you want a headphone jack, then you got to buy Moto E. Right? If you want a headphone jack, you got to buy a 2015, 2016 phone. You know what I'm saying? If we did get into 2018, it's rumored that the Galaxy S9, the headphone jack is going bye-bye, right? It's rumored that most of your devices coming in 2018, headphone jacks are going bye-bye, right? So if you want a headphone jack, you're going to have to keep older devices, or you're going to have to buy lower-end devices like Motorola, or you're going to have to buy some of the lower-end LG phones. And Samsung going to have the, the Samsung La mix here or there. They're going to have headphone jacks, right? But if you want all the high-end elite phones, look, Motorola Z already then took the headphone jack away. Apple took the headphone jack away. The Mi Mixes and all that took the headphone jack away. It's gone. Headphones are gone.
I think that was
I gotta disagree, Easy. I think as of right now, the only two companies that matter in the smartphone game, which is Apple and Samsung, the verdict is still out. Apple got rid of it. And there's still some, there's not, I hear people saying they wish they had a headphone jack. Not everybody, but there's still some people that miss it. But Samsung is keeping it. Samsung released 3 phones this year. They changed the design, all screen up front. Like the Note 8, it has 3 cameras on it. It has 2 with OIS. It has the S Pen, has your battery, all that stuff. And they still, they didn't skimp on the headphone jack. I think that says something.
Yeah, headphone jacks are
going away.
I think so.
I don't think so, man.
I think in 2000,
the leaders.
I think in 2018, we already been hearing rumor, even with the Pickle that's coming out in October, is get rid of the headphone jack.
The Pixel don't matter though.
Right, listen.
I'm just saying so as of right now, the only 2 companies that other manufacturers that went out of their way to copy what they're doing is Samsung and Apple.
Samsung will have phones with headphone jacks. They're gonna have phones with headphone jacks, but it ain't gonna be their flagships. They won't be their flagships. They will have phones with headphone jacks.
I think we'll have to see. I think Apple is definitely not going to go backwards. I think that that ship is sailed. They can't really go back on that word. But I think Samsung, they're kind of at a point where there's no reason for them to. If they come out with the S8, and have headphone jack on there, water resistance, nice camera, big screen, nice size battery, all that stuff. There's no
Yeah.
benefit to getting rid of the headphone jack. I think that would have to be tied to them getting rid of it, some sort of benefit, some new
But
feature or something like that.
you
Hey,
know,
Cafe said in the comments that the headphone jack equals dead. JQ said the headphone jack RIP. Tech for Your Knee said you need to buy a special dangle to use a headphone. Cafe says Samsung is next. So he thinks Samsung's going to get rid of the headphone jack. Just like Easy said, 2018 they probably will get rid of it. Um, Sean said, but if the LG V30 sells better than the iPhone X, then companies will change their mind.
but honestly, just I just wanted to say something. My best friend, like he's the type of guy he want the newest of the newer everything, cars, phones, whatever. So he always buys iPhones. But he came to me yesterday. I talked to him on the phone. He was like, "Man, yada yada yada. What do you think about these new iPhones that's coming out?" And he was like, they're not coming out with. He was like, "I got a 7 Plus, and I'm tired of this 7 because there's no headphone jack on it." He was like, "I'm tired of using this little adapter, man." He was like, "But I just don't want to try. I don't want to." I guess Android was a little confusing to him because there's a lot more going on or whatever. And then another thing is, um, now don't quote me on this, but it was space inside of the iPhone 7 for a headphone jack. But Apple didn't put a headphone jack on there because at the same time, what company did Apple buy?
Beats.
Right, and they
Or
forced it right down your throat, didn't they? When they took the headphone jacks out, I mean the headphone jacks out of the phone, they forced those wireless beats down your throat. So it's not like it wasn't really a reason for them to do it. It's all about you got a money guy running Apple. So it's different. It's different. When you had a vision, when you got a visionary running something, next to a money, it's different. It's going you have a visionary running something. It's going to be one thing because he has a device and he wants his device to be is his focus is that device, and then people will cling to it, and that's why Apple hasn't changed much because it was his vision and people loved it. But now you got somebody that's worried about money. You know what I'm saying? So it's different. So worrying about chasing money, you can crash and burn. Surely. So I mean, that's the only reason I look at Apple differently because I can see in a couple things they've done with all the focus is capital, and in the beginning it wasn't like that. So I could see that's when I go like this. That's why I do that.
Yeah, that's an interesting argument, especially coming from somebody who's an Apple user. Because I really hear more and more people who are Apple fans. Because after a while, you just want to try something new. I think that there are more things that kind of scared them about leaving Apple than actually keeping them there, if that makes sense. Like if you ask them like why are you staying with Apple and why don't you try an Android? It's never like, oh man, because Apple is the best this or that. It's usually kind of like well, I've done all this in Apple and I don't want the headache of going to Android. It's not really a negative thing against Android. It's just I've been doing this thing for so long. I don't want to change. I don't want to leave iMessage. I don't want to leave my app store. I don't want to buy my apps all over again. I've never used an Android device before. So I think that at a certain point it's going to come back around to bite Apple in the butt if they don't start kind of like Easy was saying, changing up that cycle to TikTok because I think people are kind of tired of that.
And that's why you got the iPhone X. I think people just
Yeah.
tired of it. That's why you got the iPhone X. I think people say, you know what, we want innovation. And Apple say, okay, we're going to give it to you. Now, to us Android users and us techies, we said it's the same old. But Apple users looking at that iPhone X, that full edge display, they just melting in their panties right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
A
man.
lot of people questioning that. A lot of people is questioning that phone. I know a lot of iPhone people that's like questioning it. Like
They don't
honestly,
buy it.
Of course they're gonna question it because it's something new.
It's
No,
something new.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, but it's something new. But I mean, is it something good
Yeah.
and new, or is it like a lot of people was like, yo, what? So the note, what's going on with the note, or what phone do you think I should get? Or people that would never ask me those type of questions is asking those type of questions because the iPhone 8 is looking the same, and you
Mm.
okay? I bought that same phone when I bought the iPhone 7 from the iPhone 6. Now you may buy the same phone again for the third time. Honestly, with the addition
Well,
of really the only the
this gonna
and
be
you
the
talk
fourth
about the
time.
average consumer, the average consumer only gonna see is the difference is glass back wireless charging. That's it. Your average consumer. I might see a better camera. Everybody on this panel gonna see a better camera or a faster processor. Apple, the ecosystem the way it run is already gonna run how it runs. So you know what I'm saying? With the updated iOS 11, I mean, you're gonna get that on every phone. You're gonna get that on your 7 Plus. So
I'm gonna tell you this much. Wait,
And AR.
go to college and go to a usually all the colleges got coffee houses around them, right? And when you walk into a coffee house near a college, what do you see? You see MacBooks and you see iPhones. Could you imagine in about another 6 months from now, when you walk in on the college dorm and you go to the coffee house that's right next to every college, right? When you walk in there, all those college students in there with their MacBooks, they're gonna have the cheap charger sitting right there on the table with the iPhone X or the iPhone 8 sitting right on that cheap charger as they typing up their assignments right there. I'm telling you, when I was in college, right, and when I used to go to the coffee house, Starbucks, or whatever they had around my college, right, if that's all you saw, is the whole. I mean, everything had MacBooks. Everybody had MacBooks and iPhones. It was all over the place in college, right? Then when I go to like my daughter's school in high school, every student, iMessage, iPhones. I'm telling you, my daughter, after the keynote address, the first thing she said is everybody in the school, the buzz is about the iPhone X. Everybody in the school talking about it.
Yeah.
Some good
I mean,
points, Eric. My daughter's already asking if she could trade in her iPhone 7 to get the iPhone X, and she has the MacBook, and she's in college right now. All her friends have the iPhone
Yeah,
7,
there it is.
6S. So yeah,
There it
you have a good
is.
point there. In college, yeah, my daughter has the MacBook. She has the iPhone 7. Asking for the iPhone X already. So yeah, exactly.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. So I think kind of want to shift gears a little bit. Kind of mentioned the foldable displays and Samsung really being the only company that has just gobs of disposable income enough to just throw some at the wall to see what sticks. They kind of did that with the screen size with the Note. Samsung used to come out with 50 different phones every year. It kind of like honed in on the design language and a certain number of devices. And so, do you guys think that Apple will be able to keep up if this foldable phone thing kind of takes off next year?
Yep, because Apple
Because
will
we,
come out with a foldable display. They'll do it too. Just like Samsung is going to do it, Apple going to do it too. Watch.
you sure they don't have a history of really hopping on the newest trends, especially things that aren't tried and tested? Because I think with the foldable displays, there's going to be a lot of trial and error with that.
Think about it is you think about this. Apple always like to wait 2 or 3 years. They I guess they say, well, let Samsung do it. They're gonna be the test dummies, right? Let everybody else do it, and then we gonna say we the only one. Super Retina display. We're gonna have a super duper Retina display. We're gonna have the first
Super
device.
duper.
The first device is gonna have an OLED display. How you like that, right? And we're gonna have 30,000 points of contact that's going to hit your head, and we're going to have all this good stuff. Apple going to be the first one that came out with the mouse. Apple going to be the first one that came out with this. Apple going to be the first one to come out with that, and they're going to sell it. And you're going to see millions of dollars worth of commercials hitting social media. It's going to be all over the place, and Apple going to be king supreme. I mean, us techies, we already know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? We already know. I mean, you think about this. If you go up to anybody on the street, if you ask them, do they know what a OnePlus is or an iPhone? What do anybody would tell you, right? Or if you go and say, do you know what a Central phone is? Do you know what an LG G6 is? Do you know what a Pixel is? But if you ask them, do you know what a Galaxy S8 is? They would tell you, yes, I do. If you ask them, do you know about the iPhone 8? 99.9% of them will tell you, oh yeah, I know what an iPhone 8 is, and I'm getting one. See, that's the thing. It's like if you ask any individual out there, just random people, and ask them what is this and what is that, then there it is. I think at this point, you got two major players in Samsung and Apple. Now, Huawei, gotta watch out for them. Watch out for Huawei. I'm looking at them trying to inch their way into the U.S. That's a good thing. We need competition. I mean, we need ZTEs. We need the Honor 8s and the Honor 9s to hit the U.S. because the competition is good, right? Because you give people choice. If they don't want to spend $1,000 on a phone, they could go spend $350 on a phone, right? So it is choice out there. I mean, everybody doesn't want to spend that type of money on the device. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they do have choices.
Yeah. So I think that's a good point, and they definitely got to watch out for Huawei. Like I said, they've already passed Apple in total sales worldwide, and that's without Huawei even being relevant in the U.S. So I think Apple's kind of they got an uphill battle because once Huawei breaks into the U.S., that's going to be potentially hundreds of million more people that they have access to. I want to kind of move over to a different topic. We mentioned it earlier, AR and VR, and I want to kind of go and get everybody's opinion. Is this important to you? Do you think it's the future or is it a gimmick? So I'm gonna start out with Mr. Forbes. What's your thoughts on AR and VR?
VR or AR?
Both.
Well, both. If you think one has a benefit over the other or is more relevant,
All right.
where do you stand on that?
As far as VR, I mean, it's cool, it's nice, but every time I try to do it, I get dizzy. Like I got the Samsung VR somewhere in my house. I used it twice already, and I got dizzy. I took it off. I just can't. I can't personally do it, so I'm not that big on VR. AR seems like cooler though. I mean, it's right there. I, Everybody does VR, but I actually do. I mean, I actually play. Look at Eric. Eric has his VR. But AR is a little bit cooler because it's right there. It's supposed to be on your kitchen table. I mean, you can play Pokemon Go if you wanted to. It has AR too, kind of, but AR seems a little bit cooler, at least to me. I don't get I don't get sick from wearing that headpiece that Eric just had on, So yeah, I mean, AR seems interesting. I mean, but when they did that the keynote, it looked like their game they was playing. Apple it was a little jumpy or something. It could be just it was a demo game or something, but it looked a little jumpy. But I mean, AR is the future. I mean, I think it's pretty cool. But again, Apple's not the only one that invented it or came out with it first. But they could definitely put it on mainstream because again, the millennials think, hey, Apple has AR. This is cool. This is something new. And then everybody's doing AR now.
Yeah, that's true, especially about the Apple making things relevant part. That's
exactly.
That's usually like you know the make or break it. Once Apple does it, then everybody's got to do it because it's mainstream now.
Exactly.
So Alan, what are your thoughts on AR VR? Have you tried it out, and do you think it's relevant?
I mean, I've tried.
Damn.
BG, are we boring you?
Hey man, you might want to turn your camera off next time when you do that.
You can turn your camera off and your mic, right? You're like, enough with Apple right now. I can't take this no more.
He was like, how do we get more boring than Apple? VR and AR. No, I've tried the VR headset. And I actually watched the It trailer on the VR headset actually last week, and I thought it was pretty cool. But I mean, as far as AR, I haven't tried it yet, so I'm kind of waiting on that myself. But as far as VR, I mean anything that you have to put like another headset on or any type of equipment. I'm saying I'm not really into that stuff. If I can really just have my phone and just use it, I mean, I got kids too, so I mean, like, it'll be cool for them, but for me, it's not really a big deal. But if I was watching like um, it's the AR at the Apple event. They made like these special games for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, who knows if it's gonna be amazing? But I mean, I'll definitely let you know by after I get that iPhone 8 Plus next week. I'll let you know. But as far as VR, eh, is it passe now? Because a lot of I remember back in April, man. Everybody was waiting for their VR headset. We were like, man, I want my VR headset. I want my VR headset. When's it coming in? And it finally comes in. You play it for like almost 2 days, and then you put it back away.
Hey, Alan, do
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
man. Well, get your Galaxy S8, right? Your Galaxy Note 8, and when Halloween come around, put them Halloween apps on the VR, right? And man, show everybody in the family, man, that's dope. You talking about scaring the crap out of people, man. The Halloween apps on VR is the best, man. I did it last year for the family. And man, they are nice, man. They very scary. I mean, they jump out at you. You hear all that creaking noise and stuff. Man, the Halloween apps are. I mean, I like VR, by the way. It's probably not my term, but I like VR, by the way.
He just made it his turn.
Yeah,
I
I was
love
gonna say,
technology, man. Look, I love technology, guys. I'm gonna tell you something.
All of
I
us do.
live, breathe. Let me
yeah,
tell you something. I went to college and I wanted more degrees because that's how much I like technology. I wanted to know the ins and outs. I mean, I took hackers classes. I took everything in technology, man. I wanted to know so much. I wanted to feed myself so much information. I read blogs all day. I study my craft, man. I read and I study technology 24 hours, 7 days a week. I do I'm on 4 live streams now. I do 3 live streams myself. Now I'm on another live stream with Android Authority. And I'm doing all this here and I study this stuff and I drop about two or three videos a week, man. I'm 7 days a week I'm on YouTube, man. And I love this stuff, man. When y'all talk about I get like, yeah, my wife like, you think you could take a day off? I'm like, nah, man, I love this stuff, man. I gotta read because technology happens so fast and you see stuff happen so quick that if you miss one day, you missed a lot.
yeah, that's true. So I want to jump in and get BG's thoughts on AR and VR.
Well, I'm not really,
Oh, sorry. I didn't do that to you.
you know,
I was like, wait up, BG, wake up.
he, he
you know,
thought BG was.
I thought BG just started sleeping in the middle.
that's exactly how Apple did the Note 7. Trying to sabotage it. But okay, like you were saying, right?
Yeah.
Um, Actually, I only had like one headset or whatever, but I think that's more as far I'm not really into that type of stuff, but I do as far as work goes, I do a lot of training.
Mm.
And I believe that's where that stuff will shine at. Not really with like phone users and stuff like that, but like as far as like, any type of training or things of that nature, that's where that'll come into play. But I really don't use that stuff honestly, because at first, once I start wearing glasses, or well, I always wore glasses, I'm just turned off by anything I got put over my head.
Mm. Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I've been wearing glasses since I was 4, so anything that's got to go in this area is usually a turn off. VR is kind of cool, especially it's gonna sound kind of unimpressive, but Netflix in VR, being able to put on a headset and have like a 70 or 80-inch screen in front of you with Netflix, I think that's pretty cool. But I think you made a good point, BG, about training because I think that's where a lot of AR stuff is kind of going. People being able to overlay stuff onto something else for training purposes, and
Right.
be able to have a some sort of visor where a doctor can look at a patient and all the organs and parts are named and highlighted, and you get all these statuses overlaid on real life. I think that's probably going to be more useful than VR. So I definitely agree with that. I want to go ahead. and go ahead and wrap this stream up though. We've been talking a lot of Apple talk. I know it's been tough for all these Android people
Yeah,
to
it
say
was,
Apple this
man.
much,
I can imagine.
but yeah, but got to give respect where it's due. Apple is definitely had a huge impact on mobile technology, and took this stream to address it. This was their week, undeniably, and they had some interesting things come out of it. But I want to go down the line. Everybody, give a shout out. Let us know where we can contact you and hit you up on the interwebs, man. So start with BG, man. Where can we hit you up?
Hey, BG Tech Life. You can find me youtube.com/BG Tech Life. I'm on Instagram, BG Tech Life. I'm on Twitter, BG underscore Tech Life. Um, Thanks for watching. Team 100.
Yo, he thinks it's his channel. Yo, thanks
You
for
tried to
watching.
sign us off,
Okay.
man. But
Thanks for watching. Peace out.
Yo, peace,
so
everybody.
Forbes, man, where can we hit you up on online, man?
On Twitter, I'm at Forbes Reviews. On YouTube, it's Forbes Tech Reviews. Instagram, same thing, Forbes Reviews, and Facebook at Facebook/Forbes Tech Reviews too. So hit me up there. Thank you for watching. No, I'm just playing. but but yeah, definitely. Thank y'all. It's been fun. Yes, I said Apple more tonight than I said in the last year
Yeah,
or 2 years. But it's
yeah, it's
fine.
an
It's okay.
accomplishment. It's an
Yeah, change it up a
accomplishment,
little
man.
bit. It's
Thank you for
cool.
that.
Yeah, all right. So easy. Let everybody know where we can see you, man.
All right, so if y'all didn't know who I was, I am Eric from Easy Computer Solutions. And everything at easycomputersolutions.com, Easy Computer Solutions on social media, Easy Computer Solutions YouTube channel. Also, look, I was one thing that we talk about Apple. It's because this is Apple Week. This is Apple time. This is the hottest news of it all right here. And even though I don't hardly make videos about Apple at all, I don't want nobody to get this misconstrued thing that I'm an Apple fan, I'm an Apple fanboy, because I haven't made an Apple video in about 6 months. So, I really don't use iPhones as my daily driver, but I'm just liking, and I talk to a lot of Apple people, and they're excited about it. But yeah, you can catch me on easycomputersolutions.com and Easy Computer Solutions on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely, man. Hey, Apple is relevant, man. Love them or hate them, you got to respect them, man. They made a big impact, and a lot of people have followed suit and followed their lead in the mobile industry. So no problem with talking about Apple occasionally. I think we're gonna keep that 6 month interval going.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, after
so
this week, that was it.
yeah. Until they kind of changed it up. They threw us a curveball. When the X come out, we're going to have to
Oh yeah, that's true. I
probably
forgot about that.
revisit
Yes.
it in a month and a half. But Mr. Phone, take at work, man. Give us your contacts, man.
My name is Alan Anthony from Phone Tech at Work. PhoneTechAtWork.com is the brand. I just want to shout out everybody who is still here in the stream, who just left or whatever. Um, I want to shout out Sean and Jose and JQ and Andre Rivers and Cafe and Lewis and everybody who joined the stream. There's Alan Anthony on Twitter, and I just made an Instagram called it, it, it is it's Mr. Alan Anthony. If you guys want to follow all of my stuff that I've been doing, as far as being a YouTuber, and you could definitely follow me back because I got some pictures with some YouTubers. It's Mr. Alan Anthony, and that's it.
All right, man. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. My name is Eric Kelly, aka the Tech Gentleman. You can follow me at Instagram at the Tech Gentleman, on Twitter at the underscore Tech Gent, on Google Plus. I post on there all the time. That's the only place we're gonna upload any photos of notes. I got photo comparison collections on there between different devices. Um, the Tech Gentleman on there as well. On YouTube, of course, this is my channel. Like, comment, subscribe. I love your feedback. I always respond to comments. But this has been Team 100, man. Tech Talk episode number 12. Look out for us next week, next Friday, man. We'll be coming back at you at somebody else's channel. But until next time, guys, peace.
Peace, y'all.
Later, guys.
It
Thanks,
was
Easy.
fun. Thanks, Easy.